I don't hear music.
Let me sing.
Up next on Inside ChampCar, going racing at Hallett.
I don't hear music.
Welcome to Inside ChampCar. Brian Bielanski, Bill Strong. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, blowing the intro again.
Yes, the whole thing. I get it, Bill, when a guest talks over the intro because they not supposed to know any better. You, on the other hand,
Well, last week I could hear it. Today I can't.
that's because I wasn't playing it.
Oh.
It was really simple. I hadn't pressed the button yet. Mitch,
It is what it is.
see what I gotta deal with.
We can start this all over again.
No. Why would we want to do that? That's too something.
Welcome, Timothy G. Elliott, singer of some big-time rock band. Oh, no, that's another guy.
That's another.
Yeah.
Mitch,
Sounds like a rock band.
Is it Gamer or Gomer? I should ask these things before we go on. I never do.
I'd go with Garner.
Okay, good. Fox Shoddy Racing, out of somewhere in Kansas that he tells me we've never heard of. Although every time someone says he's from there, he thinks they're from Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, but it's spelled
That's
slightly
right.
differently, I think.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you on. We're going to get into all of your stuff here in just a few seconds, but we start every show with the exact same question. Have you watched us before? Do you know what's coming?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm prepared.
Better
No,
than
not
us.
at all. Not at all.
So the question we start every show with is, how did you get involved with this crazy sport we love?
Well, I got involved from work. I got interviewed from who's our team captain on actually our sister team now. I'm a part of two teams. Fox Shoddy's the most recent of the two. And got interviewed by a guy in the consulting business, Adam Billing. And he was into cars. We figured out immediately at lunch during the interview for work, and found out he was racing his first race in a few months in another series. And I had no idea.
Lemons or WRL?
Lemons.
Okay. You can say it.
course.
It's all right. We'll talk about it.
We all started there except for...
Oh. Yeah, so they did their first race a few months after I started working for them in Lemons with I think it was a 93 T-Bird V6.
Uh-huh.
It was quite the machine. I missed that race just because I didn't know him all that well, but went to the next one thinking he was going to have me be a part of the pit crew. And I got there, and like all of these things, they had a driver drop out. He's like, "Surprise, you're going to drive. We've got a suit and a helmet." And I'm like, "Oh."
Had you ever driven a race car before or done any track time at all?
I did one of those extreme experience things in a Ferrari.
Okay.
That don't
and
count.
That was it.
So that's more
Right.
qualified than most people.
And yeah, that was it. So they threw me on the track, and I mean, that was back when Lemons was running at Eagles Canyon
Sure.
there near Dallas. And that was it was wild for sure. But man, after 2 laps, you're hooked.
Okay, so that's the sport part of it. When did you kind of like discover you liked cars?
Oh man, I can't remember anything else. I mean, like my dad was always working on something. He was a mechanic, and so I was just out there all the time, involved in it, and couldn't believe anything else. The only thing he ever told me is, "You're not going to be in the car trade. You're not going to work on cars for a living. That's the one rule. You can do whatever else you want." And
He knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
What was
I
Dad
found a
wrenching
way.
on at that point?
Oh man, all kinds of. He always had a bunch of Chevy trucks around, of course. But the thing that sticks out more than anything, he had some Porsche. I think it was 914s. I'm a Ford guy, you can tell, so I don't really know Porsche, but I don't know. He called them like junk Volkswagens. And he
Must have
was
been
putting
914s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was putting floorboards in them. And I mean, it was the coolest car I ever seen because it said Porsche on the side of it.
Yeah.
I didn't care if he didn't like it, but he was putting floorboards in them for some guy. And that was about the only car I ever seen him work on. He was always just working on trucks and stuff out in the shop, it seemed like.
So have you ever been to Germany?
Me? No.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Bill has, right? You did some time. I mean, spent some time in Germany in the
I
military,
didn't
right?
go to Germany. No, I spent time in England,
Okay.
and I visited France and Belgium and Holland and anywhere else. It was fun.
So we'll get right back to Ford and ChampCar in a second. But for a company that builds cars in Germany that has plenty of snow and rain and nastiness, you'd think they'd build cars that wouldn't rust out every floorboard that's ever been in their cars. I just never understood that. Everything Volkswagen and Porsche and Audi, they all rust out their floorboards. And you would think that coming from Germany, they could figure out a way to do that.
It just wasn't Porsche. I mean, I had a lot of Fords in England, and every one of them the same way. No, I'm a Ford guy. I mean, for the Americans, I'm a Dodge guy, first of all. I'm a Ford guy, but I love the sound of the Ford V8 over all of them.
You can't be a Dodge guy and a Ford guy.
I can't be a Chevy guy and a Ford guy, but I've owned more Chevys. Sorry, I've owned more Fords than I have Chevys, but I've owned more Dodges than any of them. So
we've just screwed with the car gods horribly here.
At least I don't put Honda stuff in Toyotas. God, that sucks.
Oh no. That's wrong. That's wrong. All right.
I could complain about Porsche and Volkswagen a little bit in floorboards if I hadn't put a floorboard in the race car that we're running now. So I'll just keep it quiet.
Of course. All right.
And we use Ford Mustang floorboards in the Opel GT because they fit with a little trimming. They fit perfect. Same profile.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So you did that first Lemons race, hooked, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, the car wasn't fast, but like, it was so funny. Like I was like, oh man, we're really going to race this car. But, I mean, I didn't know. I had no idea what you're getting into, right? Doesn't matter how fast it is. It's fun no matter what.
Exactly. And then where'd you go from there?
So we ran in Lemons until that car sort of just wasn't what we wanted anymore. And, Adam, I think, texted the race group one day and said, hey, I bought a Firebird, and that's what we're going to run now. I mean, it might have been a little bit different than that. It might have been said, hey, do you guys want to buy a Firebird? But I don't know. It was forced on us. That team's the GM.
As a Ford guy, you just blame it on everybody else.
And I think we never ran the Firebird. That was when we got into ChampCar. We're like, okay, now we're serious. We got a Firebird. We got a V8. We're ChampCar all the way from here. And so we started running. I think the first race there was at Harris Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And we ran a few years at Harris Hill until we all started getting so old that we thought we were going to heat stroke.
Right. So I see a lot of Fords in ChampCar. And maybe both you and Bill can answer this. I don't see a lot of the 80s and 90s Camaros, Firebirds. Do they not point out very well?
Well, in the Northeast,
okay,
they don't last long.
Well,
they rust out. But we have had a lot of them. We had an X, not an IROC. There was another. It was a prepped endurance race series, and I want to say the Playboy something in the late '80s, whatever was going on at that time.
The Playboy.
It won one of the Laguna Seca races. Of course, there's a lot of how much racing stuff is on this car that we don't see.
Mm.
There's always that question.
Right.
Right.
And then we've had a bunch of them in the South race, and they've done well. Hell, our CEO, our Mike Chiswick, not founder, but Mike Chiswick actually raced a Camaro for a while. And of course, our Bliss Racing folks that I race with, they run a Camaro as well. Shh, don't tell anybody. But don't tell my Ford friends. I'm trying to get a ride in a Mustang, by the way. But yeah, the Camaro runs, and a couple of Firebirds and such, and they race as well.
So when did you get into the Ford stuff, as far as racing goes?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Ford person my whole life, and like Adam let me be a part of that team, even though I trashed the General Motors stuff constantly. Was awesome. So I drug this car out from underneath a tree in a field.
I really believe a great
like a mile from my house. What was it? I'm getting confused. June, year and a half ago, I think. I guess it would have been June 2 years ago now. Drug it out, sprayed the moss off of it, and sent a bunch of pictures to the race team and said, I'm going to build a Ford. And they're just cracking up looking at this thing. I mean, the pictures of it, it had a half an inch of moss and something else. I don't even know. I've never seen anything like what was growing on it. And started, ripping it apart. And
did you do one of those body restoration for YouTube videos, where you start with a lump of coal and you end up with a diamond?
It was pretty wild. We sprayed the hood off, like half the hood off. When there's videos where they're buffing, they'll put a piece of tape and buff one side of the hood and not the other.
Yeah,
we power washed a half an inch of junk off one side of the hood and not the other. And it's an awesome photo.
That's cool.
One of those ones you took a grinder to at some point.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It needed it.
And that, and how long have you been running that in ChampCar with?
So we ran our first race, which is sort of hilarious. And that car was the first ChampCar race at Ozark last year. So we take that untested, never been. I mean, I drove it to the exhaust shop and the alignment shop and drove it home, and then we put it on Ozark, which was interesting. But we had a blast. I mean, I can't even remember. We had a little bit of trouble with it last year. We were sort of on and off like we always are, and providing everybody else some comedy.
You were there this year, weren't you, at Ozarks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. This year we provided more comedy than ever since you threw a camera in.
You were up there. You were doing well.
Oh, we have a good time. That's what we focused on.
And that's what matters. So who are your teammates?
So we've got in the Mustang, Adam Billing, I've conned into being a part of this other team. He's behind my head that way in the black suit. Jonah Bishop's beside him. Joe is beside him. I'll screw his last name up in the red suit, and then Martin Painter in the blue suit. And we've got this hot shoe driver, but he won't take pictures with us, so I guess I won't even name him.
Is that Martin Painter any relation to the other painters with the gray Mustang, Looney Tunes?
Oh, do they have somebody in there with the last name Painter?
Yeah, the whole family is like Painter.
No kidding. I didn't even know that. I mean, everybody else probably knows that except me. Everybody's watching thinks I'm an idiot. But
that's right.
I mean, yeah, we've got to be pretty good friends with those guys since we brought a Mustang to the track. So, yeah, they're good guys. No relation that I know of.
Okay.
So do all the Mustang guys stay together in the paddock and kind of pit near each other, or do you just want to beat each other to smithereens?
I mean, we would, but I don't know if the other Mustang guys want to be around us. We're a little embarrassing. So,
how so? now there's. Wait a second. I sense there's stories here. Come on.
The old car didn't look like much, but it's fun. So,
well, let me tell you, most of the guys that run these Mustangs, they start out pretty rough looking, and they end up developing it over time. And usually, the Mustang guys will stick with a Mustang for quite a while. And
we did a little body work on it at Ozark this year. So, but thank goodness the tires were there, though. They helped us out.
Yeah, that Coke bottle shape really works. Look at the Dodge Charger, the original one,
right?
The Gen 2 ones. Yeah.
But I hear the team sent me some pictures last night. They've got us a fresh dented fender to replace the one we messed up at Ozark that we're just going to put on right as soon as we get to Hallett.
I don't get that. So I have the same fenders on my car that I had when we built the car. If anybody knows me, they know I put it in, my team has stuffed it into the wall many, many times. We just get it out and we just hammer it. And if you notice, we have these really big tires on it, and the more you hammer on it, the more we didn't have to have fender flares. That steel gets so thin from hammering it out.
Well, I don't know if everybody else is like this, but we head off to the track with like huge, lofty goals of everything we're going to do as soon as we get there. We're going to adjust the sway bar and do all this other stuff, and then we get there and none of it happens.
No.
So I think we're going to have a fender, and if somebody jumps in and puts it on, it's going to be awesome.
Hold on a second.
If not, it's going to have the Ozark fender hood on it.
This is the perfect time for this. Hold on.
Can't hear it on our end.
There's music playing. It's the tech tip music.
Oh.
You should be able to. Oh no, you should be able to. Anyway, so here's the tech tip. Everything needs to be done before you get to the racetrack.
That's boring. Boring.
Or at least most of the stuff should get done before you get to the racetrack.
So Jonah and I on the team were sitting out in the shop on Saturday, probably about the time I messaged you again, Bill, just to see what was going on. And we had Jonah had the list in his hand, and he was starting to read it off. And I'm like, tear that off, scratch that off. We're sitting in a chair, not getting anything done, and just removing things from the list by taking them off the list instead of actually doing it.
Usually a few beers helps with that, too.
Yeah, there wasn't any of that.
Yeah.
No, of course not. Of course not.
So it's Troy used to get so mad at me when I get to the track and we're still working on it, but it was only me. So, my son would help every now and then, but most of the time it was just me. So it was like, hell, if I can drive it onto the trailer, we're ready to race. Once we get to the track, we'll finish off the list and get everything done.
Well, and at the time, Bill, you had a full-time job that wasn't this, right?
Well, correct.
So you had and
Yes,
a family, like you had like little.
Well, they didn't like me in the house. Remember, my family doesn't like me. Remember that. So they like it when I'm on the other side of the property in the shop. So
your travel schedule is a benefit to them.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I joked with Amy tonight. I said, "Hey, I'm gone for like the next 3 weeks," and she goes,
like,
"Oh," and she got this big gleam in her eye. And I'm like, "No, I'm kidding. I'm back like Monday or Tuesday."
Oh, that's mean. That's mean. So we got Hallett coming up next. I understand you're gonna go to Hallett.
Have you been to Hallett before?
Me? Yeah. Love Hallett. We've run the Firebird there 2 or 3 times at least, I think, and we ran the Mustang one of the 2 days last year. We didn't have enough drivers to run it on Saturday, but we ran it Sunday. I came up and begged for one day.
Yeah, Chelsea asked me. She turned to me and says, "You want to drive?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I don't have my gear." So
it's got to be somebody
we got plenty
out
of sweaty
there
gear.
Stuff that you might squeeze.
No, I don't. I wear my own stuff. I don't ever borrow from people. Again, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, because some of these guys have. So.
Absolutely. We're really looking forward to have Hallett. We'll have both cars. We'll have the Firebird. Adam will have the Firebird, and our whole group on that team. We'll have Mustang there. We're pitted next to each other. We're gonna have a ball.
Cool.
So I just made my first trip to Hallett a couple weeks ago. What do you love about that place?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is thank goodness they have a tunnel now, because what a pain it was before the tunnel.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm supposed to say the racetrack, but thank goodness for the tunnel. That's awesome.
Yeah, the tunnel really helped out a lot, and that was one of the things that, because we hadn't been back in a few years when we went back the first year with the tunnel, or without the tunnel, and it was one of those, we had told them we're not going to let anybody out. You bring everything in, and then it was just, then you get a pile of cars wanting to do stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right, just let them out. Chelsea let them out and put everybody under yellow, and it was tough, but it got done. Luckily, we didn't have 200 cars there, so it was a little easier to do. So
yeah, you'd rather have a tunnel.
It wasn't near as.
No,
I say you'd rather have a tunnel than 200 cars.
Huh?
You'd rather have a tunnel and 200 cars.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Although I don't.
Yeah, but
payroll.
Hallett with 200 cars would be quite the adventure. I want to see 200 cars on that 1.9 mile thing.
Let's do it.
That would be. I'd actually pop some popcorn and sit back and put it up on a big screen for that.
Hey, we ran about 150, 200 cars at Carolina Motorsports Park on the short course, which is the tiny one. So yeah, it was 3 to 4 cars wide, bumper to bumper, all the way around the track, and I never had so much fun in my life.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Remember have you ever raced against the Enterprise? You know what the Enterprise is, right? The big FTD. So there's a Ford FTD,
LTD?
like a 72 LTD.
Yeah.
FTD. That's a flower guy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, I was like, what's coming?
An LTD convertible, and they're race out of the East Coast, and my buddy MR2 guy Scott Barton, who races with AER, you used to race with AER towards a few years back, but Scott was driving that car, and he was in front of me, and all I saw was I'm trying to get around him in my MR2, and just his eyeballs, and we had so much fun going through the traffic. But he would just clear a path because he was like 10 feet wide and 40 feet long. So good day. Good time.
I had more fun last year at Hallett. I was in the Firebird. Somebody else was in my car at the time, and we were racing one of the battle scarred guys in one of the Crown Vics, or I was, and we were pretty equal. Yeah. And a little bit faster in different parts of the track. And we just ran and lap after lap after lap after lap until I ran off. Right on the straightaway, like 2 laps before the end. I had a ball. It was the best time.
Oh, wait, you were the reason we went yellow at the end?
No. Oh, I gathered it up and went right back on.
Thought I caught you there. Good times. Yeah, Hallett's such a great place. They have the chicken dance in the morning.
Do they serenade you guys with the chicken dance out there? I wonder if that was just for us in the other club.
No, you're not.
That's a Hallett thing. Okay, it's not a club thing.
No, it's a Hallett thing.
Okay.
That was funny. The first time I heard that,
isn't that crazy?
Where we put our camper down there, I couldn't figure out what it was because the speaker was like echoing, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yes, I had been kind of warned that there was some chicken thing. I know, but no one really told me what that meant. And I'm sitting up there putting this television studio together, and I'm like, what the actual F is that? And it went on and on and on, and I'm like,
yeah, it does.
People like this.
It goes on for an uncomfortably long time.
It does. And then I went down for lunch into the gift shop, and I'm like, they actually have T-shirts for this dang thing.
Yeah.
No.
It's like one of those South American national anthems that goes on for like 10 minutes.
I'm just waiting for some guy to go, goal.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it was nuts. And I love it, though. I mean, it kind of grows on you after when you finally realize what it is.
Yeah,
I'm glad we don't do that at every racetrack, but
they have that 10-foot chicken out on the steps of the tower as well. So they move it out there so that when they play it, it's there.
And if there are any operators of other racetracks out there who want to know how to do a racetrack cafe properly, go visit Hallett. Their cafe, the family that runs that, is just spectacular.
Yep. I say Hallett and Harris Hill.
Okay.
Before the change at Road America, I really liked the Road America food up until recently. But Hallett and Harris Hill are top of the bunch there with food.
It was good stuff. So that's also a ton of fun. But yeah, the song and then the T-shirts, and I was like, boy, they love this chicken.
They have their swag. Yeah, they have that swag shop that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
If you can think of a color of a T-shirt, they have it there. And here we show up with like one shirt
in 2XL. It's like, come
2XL. Yeah.
Yeah, 2XL is like the worst size, by the way. Most people are way larger or way smaller.
I'm a 2XL, damn it.
That's like I said. Most people are way larger or way smaller.
No, we have to, when we order the shirts, I have to, where's this place at? Oh, out west. They're all like extra small and small out there. And then you go out east. You go up north, and it's, bigger sizes. You go down south, kind of regular sizes. You go to Florida, they're all over the place. So
I thought, Bill, when I moved out here, that people said to me, "You're not from around here." I thought it was because of my accent. It's not because of my accent, because I wear 5XL stuff. That was uncomfortable.
As long as you would.
Was that an uncomfortable amount of silence?
That was uncomfortable. moving right along. That's awesome.
No, I did.
Wow.
We have an HR department, and
Yep. Well, you just broke every HR rule.
I know I couldn't. There was a bunch of people complaining today about how hot it is in Texas in July, and I'm like, stop being. Well, wait, I can't say that.
No, you can't.
I asked Dana. I said, "Can I call him?" He's like, "No." No. Come on, man. He goes, "I know you want to. I know it's probably called for, but no." Darn it.
Yep. I know how that goes. I know how that goes. So,
man up. Well, you can't say that nowadays.
No,
so.
Can't do that either.
No.
Person up.
All right.
So you're taking, what, 2 cars to Hallett?
Yeah, so we got one coming. The rest of the team, the Firebird team is mostly from Texas.
Okay.
We've got one guy that...
Wait.
We have 2.
Wait. I thought everybody in Texas drove Mustangs.
Yeah, Adam. I hope you're watching, Adam.
There's always that one guy has to drive a Trans Am.
I believe the Slicks 28 in the chat is Adam.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yep.
So they're from Texas. Now, are they from deep Texas, or are they from the border Texas, which is more like, I don't know, Oklahoma?
Dallas, or Plano. I mean, basically Oklahoma. They might as well just call it that, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple of guys coming from Jersey now. Well, I mean, one guy's been on the team's been from Jersey for a long time. I think we've got a new one. I can't remember.
Connected, because I thought everybody from Jersey's connected. Not that it matters in racing.
Connected.
Right.
Yeah, connected.
You got another HR call.
We just went to the Ozarks. So, everybody's connected there.
Different kinds.
Uh-oh.
We're getting closer and closer to being in trouble here.
Texan is making... Nope, wrong. He just said wrong, and that's it. So, piss somebody off.
Yep. We got another guy's from... One of the other guys is from Austin. So, we got a lot... The Firebird team's coming up. We're going down to Hallett. It'll be fun.
What else do you have in your schedule after Hallett?
We sort of get these two. I mean, just the last 2 years, we've gotten Ozark and Hallett done and felt pretty proud that we managed that. But we've got some new guys on the team. I'm sort of hoping, I hope my wife's not watching. Can you guys see? I sort of would like to do another race this year, but I don't know if I don't know if I'll manage that or not.
I'll make sure that
Is your wife hot Chevy girl?
Yep, that'd be her.
Okay. No, she's not watching.
All right. Oh, inside ChampCar, making for divorces every week.
Yeah. Mine just walked by, so.
We should have a divorce lawyer as our sponsor, Bill.
I keep trying to get her on. I thought it'd be kind of funny to do a wife's perspective of our racing.
Oh boy,
how big of jerks we are when we're racing, or just how we hide money, and we think we're hiding stuff in the backyard, but they know it's all there, and that kind of stuff. I thought that'd be kind of funny, but she won't.
I've never heard of that before, Bill. I think that might only be you.
It might be, or Troy. Mm-hmm. Sorry. But you can take that out, right?
Boy, we're getting everybody in trouble today. We're getting people in trouble who aren't even in the chat or on the podcast, so we're in trouble.
She's Jeep Girl 38. Oh, is that her Jeep in the picture? The lifted Jeep? You had a picture on your Facebook page. Not that I was stalking you or anything.
Oh, I was like, where do you look at?
Oh, yeah, my wife's got a Jeep.
Okay. Yep. There you go.
All right.
She raced one of those. We had a Jeep that raced with us, but it was a Lexus kind of a Jeep. So,
yeah, I don't think this one did very good.
Had a Lexus chassis with a Jeep body on it, which is a pretty badass car.
So what keeps you coming back to ChampCar?
I mean, it's been a really good fit for us, I think. The class designations work good for us, being able to run V8 cars with other V8 cars. We like doing that. Of course, we're wanting to put a V8 in the overall win, and we can't beat that big Corvette, but someday maybe we can all aspire.
Come on, he hasn't won yet this year.
Well, he never finishes.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Everybody beats him.
I wasn't going to say it.
Bill doesn't watch this show.
If we hadn't had to do like 6 brake jobs on the Mustang at Ozark, we might have been able to catch up when they shut down. But we were short on rotors all weekend.
So what were happening to you? Are you still using those little tiny 80s rotors?
I mean, we've got as big a ones can fit in our 17-inch wheels, but that ain't saying much.
Oh, I thought, what's a hot setup on those? Like using truck F350 rotors? Or
I think you can do something in the rear. I mean, we ran drum brakes last year, so in the rear. Sorry, not in the front. We had drums in the rear, and everybody made fun of us. And I couldn't take that anymore, and I put discs on it between the races.
Yeah.
We've got Cobra fronts.
Somebody told me once that it's all about the tires that stop your car, not the brakes. So I don't know. Usually the tires falling off the car stop my car.
Why are you slowing the car down in the first place?
I mean, I think that's the question, right?
Just saying.
One of our guys said this thing is scary. This thing turns pretty good, but it's scary on the straightaways.
It's not that way it's supposed to work.
Like toe out scary?
I mean, it's sort of just like, I don't know. It feels like a Cadillac, kind of like wallering all over the road. Like, is this thing going to like settle or not? But I don't think
Ford Mustang, what do those start out at? 150 points, so you could put those supercalifragilistic shock absorbers and springs on it. And
we could put way better shocks than we've got. Hey, Jeff Mills, I hope you're watching. He's my guy that said I'm going to get you shocks. So,
your guys in Texas, they're all like, Rancho is located there or something, or it's American stuff, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe somebody will bring me shocks for Hallett. I'm staring at the camera. Yeah, we need to do some suspension work. I sort of blew all my points on motor because, I mean, it's a Mustang.
What you do?
Why would you do anything else?
Yeah. Straight line, man. No, but the Mustang's supposed to be really good in the straight line.
I think we probably should work. We should work on that.
Yeah,
at least that's the way it looked in the mirror of my Charger. So
quit it.
Wait, there were cars in the mirror of your Charger? I thought everyone was in front of you.
No, not in the old days.
Okay, not in the old days.
I had a fast Charger.
In that one race?
The 2.2 Chargers, no? Okay. I had a Shelby Charger GLHS, buddy.
All right.
I had a real Shelby.
A real Shelby.
Not them fake blue and silver ones.
I think I'm going to need to talk to you about that at Hallett.
I have a dog named after the real Shelby.
You know the other Mustang guys, the ones out of Florida with the Cobra, they don't run with us anymore. They got mad at us for rule changes or whatever. But one of their guys was a big time Shelby Dodge club guy. He actually ran the club. I didn't know this for years, and I knew his name, but I didn't put the two together until we were up in the tower one day, and I said something about owning a Shelby, and he's like, "Yeah, I ran the Shelby Dodge Automobile Club," and I'm like, oh, "That's where I know you from." So yeah, not with the Swiss cheese wheels. I had the Shelby wheels with the. On one side they were perfectly aero, on the other side they weren't. Because somebody just asked a question online, but yeah. So you're racing the Mustang and that GM thing at Hallett. Yeah. You race at Hallett. What is the hardest part of that track, that course?
Oh, it's got to be the bitch.
You said it for me. Thanks.
Yeah, we can say it. Although it's now called the Tully. Hard. But anyway,
that's definitely, it's a tough section. Yeah. I like it. I mean, it's tough. I've not ended up facing the other direction there. I think most of us on our team have, but I've always sort of, I think I don't drive in hard enough there. I think I could drive harder through the bitch, and just don't. I sort of feel like the most challenging point, I should have even looked at the numbers. I'm not sure what it is, but you come off the straightaway, you go down that next straightaway and take that more than a 90-degree turn,
right,
and go up a hill and end up in this sweeper, whatever turn number that is.
I think that's horrible with turn numbers. 5 or 6.
That sounds right. That one, I'm like, I leave so much time on the table there every single lap. I'm like, I just baby it through there, and I don't know. I'm not going to do it this year. I've told everybody it's going in the wall.
So it's probably not what you should be telling people, but okay.
Well, he's from Kansas. Don't you go wall or bust?
So a little tip for you: the billboard's gone.
The billboard.
The billboard that you're supposed to aim at when you're coming up to Crescent Hill.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The billboard's gone. So
wow.
Yeah. So all that's left is like the 3 poles that the billboard was on. So now
you gotta pick one.
So now the question is, which of the 3 billboards or posts do you want to point at?
That's
hilarious. It's like Road Atlanta. There's some trees way in the background. You aim for a certain bunch of trees as you come up over 3, and that puts you in the right spot. So it's the same thing.
My guys make fun of me because they're all like, they ask me about all these landmarks on all, like at Ozark. We were talking about landmarks the whole weekend. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about. And they're using the right names for turns and all this stuff. And I'm like, I have to describe, just like I tried to do at Hallett. You know, there's only, I don't even have any turns at Hallett, not very many. And I just sort of have to describe what it looks like. And they're all just cracking up because.
Yeah. So, I raced at a track in Canada, Calabogie, and every corner looks the same. And there's 50 of them. I mean, it's insane. Yeah. Every part of the track you went on was a turn, and it had the same trees, and there was nothing that said what corner you were on until you got to this one open section that had people sitting on a hill. It's like, oh, I think the finish line's up here. So, you know, yeah, I'm like that too. I can't sit there. I have to go through in my head a lap to figure out what corner's what. And I'm usually still off. So, you know, we used to have a guy that would, Kevin Tooley, that would sit there and describe the track to us while he was setting fastest lap of the day of the race, not for our team, but of the race in Troy's car. And yeah, just sit there talking. Yeah. Okay. I'm taking this and do this and come into this corner in 16 and you do this. And like, holy crap, dude. I go out the pit lane, make a left, and I'm totally lost.
For those who haven't been to Hallett, there's one section where you're climbing a hill, and then at the top of the hill, you have to make a turn, and the landmark to make sure you were set up at the proper place to make that turn was a billboard, and it's no longer there. So I'm sure the first person who realized that probably is still repairing their car, but like, where's the bill?
I remember people saying that, but again, as soon as I got on the track, it's like I'm in my own little world. I have no idea any advice anybody gave me. It's gone.
Well, so you won't be bothered by that.
Go fast, turn left, turn right when you need to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so just have fun with it, and I think that goes back to a lot of us in this series, that we're just out there having fun. We're not sitting there diagnosing. You know, only put 2 treads of your tire on that curbing as you go through that corner. Right. You know, you're just sitting there having fun, man, having a blast, just going fast, having fun.
We did have a new element in Ozark this year. We got data in our car for the first time where we
can robot
compare. We got race. Not that.
Sorry.
Not that. I was a little slow on that.
Yeah.
I know one of the team is laughing right now. He's watching that.
LeVar Burton's with us next.
Yeah.
No, we got an app in the car, and we were actually able to compare each other's laps, and that was a whole like we've never had anything like that. And one of the guys is way faster than the rest of us at Ozark anyway, and we're like just watching him walk away from us, going through that lap data, and just like wonder where he's faster. Everywhere.
So when you have that.
Visceral did that to me. They had for the 24-hour, they had data in the car, and they got it out, and they want to talk to you about your data, and they just look at it and said, Bill, you're just slow everywhere. I'm like, perfect. I brought the car back in one piece. I fell on my face getting out of it. We're good to go.
When you have data in your car and one guy's faster than the other, when they tell you to come over and look at the data, they usually then hand you a bottle of antidepressants as you're walking up there, and that helps you get through that session. Might not make you fast the next time you're in a race car, but at least you don't have to worry about that issue anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah, I hate data. It's like, I'm just out there having fun. I'm trying not to wreck your car, and when I get fast, I tend to wreck cars. So, yeah, I'm kidding. By the way, I don't. So anybody?
Yeah, we know the stories, Bill. I can rewind different portions of the last 60 episodes, and it's all documented. I have evidence. So. Anything for Mitch before we let him go to get into the rest of his night?
Nah, we're gonna try some. He knows, and I told you we're not going to tell the audience. We're going to try some new things this week for the next show, and he's going to participate, and just wear your best tank top. That's all I ask.
Oh, we got it. I got the one picked out.
Perfect.
We're gonna zhush it up for you, everybody. All right, Mitch.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks, Mitch. We'll see you in a couple days, man.
Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, well, that was fun, Bill.
Yeah, he's a good guy. They they're a fun team to hang out with a little bit. And I hung out by stoking my head through the window saying, I'm putting a camera in your car. And they loved it.
I love it. So much good stuff. All right, so what else do we need to know here?
Not much. I'm leaving in the morning, bright and early. Jimmy's leaving. We're headed to, where the hell are we headed to? Hallett, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So there is a bunch of, oops, let me make sure this is working. Yeah. There is a bunch of construction going on.
It's still going on.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're told to take the northern route to Cleveland and then drop down.
Yeah, I went both ways. Let me rephrase that. I went the southern route once.
Yeah.
And then I took the northern route the rest of the time. Yeah,
sure it's northern. Yeah, it's northern. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're towing stuff. The northern route's got nice wide roads, and it's about 10 minutes longer to go on either of the bypasses. But okay. If you don't choose one of the two, it's 20 minutes past, and then you have to turn around, come back the other way on whatever interstate that
basically,
is.
I think what they're doing is like we come from Sulphur Springs or something like that.
Okay.
And when we come, I guess we're towards Tulsa, right outside.
Right. So, by the way, this only is an issue if you're coming from Tulsa.
Yeah.
If you're coming from Oklahoma City, not a problem.
Yeah. So we're driving out, and we would just take the 15 feet of the toll road and then get off.
Sure.
And they would never, I think it was like $1 or $2 that we pay for like 15 feet. And then go over the bridge. But I think they're doing some construction there, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The whole, you cannot exit at that bridge.
Okay.
That's the issue. They've basically shut down the entire exit, and there's just no option to get off there. So you got to get off at the exit before. There's pretty good signage telling you to get off, but definitely take the northern way, go through Cleveland.
Yeah.
There's also some stuff if you need anything. There's
some stuff going. They're going to have the road closed south or something in a dam or something is what the truck told us today.
That might be new too. Okay.
Yeah. So you want to go Cleveland way.
Yeah. And if you got to go through Cleveland, there's fast food and a Walmart and other stuff.
Right.
I think there's actually an auto parts store in Cleveland too. If you ever, not that any of us ever have to go buy a part while we're at the racetrack, but I believe there was an auto parts store there too.
Yeah, Jimmy and I are going to start setting up Flagtronics like when we get there on Thursday, and then Friday there's a test day. We want to stay off track during that, give you guys the most possible amount of track time. There will be marching ants this weekend. I'm going to set that up here in a few, but I'll have all that going. Actually, I might do it tomorrow night, but we'll have all that set up and be marching ants. I'll probably have a camera pointed somewhere, maybe at Chelsea. I don't know. And we'll have it pointed out the window somewhere.
Don't do that to her. That's not fair. Don't do that to Chelsea.
It's fun.
I don't think that she'll think that. Chelsea, I'm on your side. Whatever Bill says, I'm on your side.
Yeah, we'll have it there. So, and then then I head back here, and then we go to Watkins Glen, which is like another 200 cars signed up for that one. So
nice. Is that Memorial Day weekend for you guys?
Yeah, okay. 190 cars. So
because we're at Watkins Glen the following weekend.
Oh, cool. So I'll let you know all about that one.
Yeah.
And then we head to Chicago for Autobahn.
Cool.
So I've never been there. Ray's been there, and he won't stop talking about it because the awesome cars there. I guess Autobahn has Bobby Rahall's shop there, and really cool stuff. So, yeah, can't wait to go there.
Absolutely. So what's flashing on your monitor that's making you look so psychedelic? The monitor on your left, I believe, is the one that's flashing.
This one?
No. That would be your right. Your left. The one right in front of your microphone.
That's you.
Oh, I'm flashing.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, what it was the, I think it's the website that I was at.
There you go, whatever that is.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's just because I have 3 monitors, like you, my main one, and then where I put all my palettes for Photoshop and stuff. So, Illustrator. So, yeah, I'm a professional.
I thought there was some poltergeist coming to get you.
So we're gonna do that special thing. I haven't told the other teams about it yet, but hopefully we can figure it out. Unfortunately, the podcast people won't be able to see it. So,
well, what we'll do on the podcast is we'll put a link to the video, and like we always do,
use it.
And then we can get more people to watch the YouTube.
There you go.
Or we can take that part out of. We can just say something on the podcast like.
Could probably take it out. Yeah,
and just keep that part out and just tell people, hey, this is a part of the show.
Anything I do just drones on for hours, so it could go on for 20, 30 minutes. So who knows?
Cool. So I can go make dinner.
Yeah.
Take the dog out.
I think it'll be cool what we're doing. I can't tell you guys. So I still really don't know how I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Well,
I've never done anything like this before. So we're bringing something new to ChampCar. There's something that's not being done by other series until next week. Whenever they figure out what we're doing, then they'll start doing it. But yeah.
So I know we got a whole bunch of people here watching. I hope you've subscribed, smashed the like button, and press the bell so you get notified, so that we can, you guys can see all this nonsense. I mean, all this awesomeness happening.
Yeah. I want to say hi to Mark Kruger and his team, the Kruger Tuned Racing. They're going to be there this weekend, hopefully with the Porsches, but they have other cars too. So, so they'll be there. We talked to them last year, one of the Krugers. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Anything special on the subs we need to know about?
Don't know. I haven't read them yet.
Okay. Don't you write them?
Yeah, I do, but yeah, there's nothing special. There's a test day going on. So, and probably Chelsea told me to say a bunch of stuff, but I forgot about it.
Of course.
I'm kind of burnt out, man. This week's been the last 2 weeks have been pretty tough, either personally and job wise. So
I got you. Well, let's do this then. Let's get out early.
Yeah, because I have to leave really early. I have to make it to Western. Where the hell am I going?
I don't know.
West Memphis.
Okay.
By tomorrow evening. So, and then I have some more work to do once I get to the hotel. So,
all right.
Yeah, Josh, Jack, and Kruger will be there.
Cool.
Mark Kruger won't be there.
All right.
Super sad face. Something, I don't know. He probably has to work or something. He's important.
Well, got to pay for the racing some way, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
all right, let's get out.
Yep. And we will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit like and all that stuff. And I think you have a script, don't you?
I do. Thanks for watching. That's going to do it for another episode of Inside ChampCar. Did you like what you hear? Subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel so you won't miss any episodes. Also be great if you share it on your social media channels. Comment on the ChampCar Facebook page, especially if it's a good comment. New episodes every Tuesday, and we do the replay on Thursdays now. He's Bill Strong. I'm Brian Bielanski. You're listening to the Racing Wire Podcast Network and ChampCar Live on YouTube. Have a great week.